My ultimate aim for Paris, if I'm being completely honest, would be to come away with another medal. But if I'm being really honest and being greedy, it would be to come away with 2 medals. Yeah, my pathway into canoe slalom wasn't your traditional pathway. I first started it with the Scouts, first tried it with the Scouts, and I was about 8 years old at the time. Loved it, tried to join the local canoe club. Unfortunately, I was too young to join at the time, so completely forgot about it. Went back to different sports, football, rugby, cricket, your traditional kind of sports. And then when I was in year 6 at my middle school, there was an opportunity to try canoe slalom. So I thought, fantastic, I wanted to do it before, so let's go again. It was 8 weeks across that summer holidays to try it. So I applied to do that, and then they were inundated, unfortunately, for those spots, kind of by fate maybe. I don't know, but I came back to canoe slalom 3-4 years later. And yeah, that's how I started, and it kind of spiraled from once a week to twice a week to 3 times a week until all my weekends across the summer were taken, and yeah, I'm here today. I had a really interesting junior career. I showed pace at an early age, and then unfortunately, when I was 16 in 2008, I got an abscess behind the back of my eye, and that put me out. And then I ended up getting a secondary meningitis from that, so it kind of was written off before the selections that year. Came back, worked really hard that summer, and in 2009 broke onto the junior team, which was my first year on the team. I kind of had more pace than I could possibly show, and really struggled to kind of deliver it mentally, going from our small events we have here to these big kind of European or world championships. I mean, I remember quite vividly, age 13, sitting in my local canoe club and with my peers around me and sharing our goals, and my dream goal was to win the Olympic Games, and that was huge to say that at 13 years old. It was a dream, and worked tirelessly to get to where I am today, but realistically, you never believe that you'll be Olympic champion until it happens. If I look back on my success at Rio, it's definitely given me motivation to go forwards to Paris. Obviously we had a bit of a lull when I missed out on the Tokyo Olympics, and I kind of think that almost relit that fire, that passion, and thought back to Rio and those memories of competing in my first Olympic Games, the amazing experiences, the athletes that I met. Kind of think, well, that was so good, I want to do it again. The path to Paris is quite straightforward in some ways. We've got home World Championships at Lee Valley Whitewater Centre, so that makes it significantly easier to qualify that spot because it's our home venue and a lot of the athletes know it like the back of their hands. But that doesn't mean it's easy. It's obviously going to be a really hard fight. We've got some great competitors in the UK, so it's unfortunately only one athlete goes in each discipline, so it's going to be a really, really tough fight all the way through. We don't quite know the selection policy yet, but we have some idea. Yeah, I'm super excited for the inclusion of kayak cross. It's a great event, really energetic, chaotic at times, and exciting to watch for the spectator and also the athletes involved. It's a short and sweet effort, 100 seconds at most, and you'll know those winners. So when you get to that final, you got a pretty good chance of the medals, but you could come away, unfortunately, with the 4th place. So it's, yeah, super exciting, and that head-to-head combat just adds another element to it. My ultimate aim for Paris, if I'm being completely honest, would be to come away with another medal. But if I'm being really honest and being greedy, it would be to come away with 2 medals. I mean, it feels fantastic to have multiple opportunities to compete in Paris and hopefully win medals. Yeah, it's obviously amazing to go to Olympic Games and be able to compete in one discipline, but to be able to compete in 2 just gives you that kind of buffer that if one doesn't go necessarily the way you want it to, you've almost got your insurance policy there. Whereas only one, it's all eyes on that, so it kind of spread your bets a little bit and spread the anxiety around those races.